homicide, probably, possibly.
Well, that's what he was found not
He,
guilty on today.
well, yeah, but see, that's the thing. He was because the thing is, he held on to him too long, and the thing is, people were telling him, "Hey, we got him," and everything else. Now, in the heat of passion of all that, everything that the whole situation, I wasn't there. I don't know what was in his mind,
Right.
but you know, it's just he could have, or the other people could have said, "Hey, you we got him, let him go," and forced his arm out. You know, a bunch of scenarios could have gone, coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Yeah, I mean, I would also ask, what if you are the Good Samaritan? What if you're in the role of Daniel Penny, and you got this guy in a chokehold or whatever, and you know from his strength, you're wrestling with him, and you can tell from his strength, like, I don't buy that if I let this guy go, the people that are around me are going to be able to restrain him like they're claiming. Maybe you hold on to him because you don't buy.
Yeah, but you got to keep in mind too. He was what 100 and something pounds. I mean, he was a little guy, and these guys were bigger. So I mean, I understand. But see, the thing is, my understanding is all he did was threaten people, and I get it. Like I said, this is a really hard situation due to the fact that there's a lot of how do you say it? There's a lot of tolerance towards violence towards people, especially in New York and Chicago and stuff like that. But then on the other side, you've got people that are like, well, yeah, this guy stood up for people and was defending them because this guy was fixing to do something, you know what I mean? But he didn't do anything, but he was threatening and stuff like that. Me personally, I probably would have just knocked the shit out of him. You know what I mean? That's just
Well,
being
but let's say you were in the position of Alvin Bragg, based on what you've seen. Would you have decided to prosecute him?
I think I would have had to prosecute him because no matter the situation, the way it looks, because it's kind of being vigilanteism. You know, like me, straightforward, the way I am, I'm in. I'm a vigilante, I'm in. You start fucking with someone, and I'm going to kick your ass, and if you end up unalive, that's not my problem.
You see what he was. You see what he was doing as being a vigilante?
Well, yeah, but see, because he took the law into his own hands. Now, again, you have to look at both sides. People see that the law enforcement in New York is very lax due to the fact of who's running it, right? Okay, but then on the other side, you have people that are like, well, what about the law? You're supposed to uphold the law. You got to do what's right and wrong. That's what Daniel Penny was thinking in my mind. He's trying to be a good Samaritan. But he took the law into his own hands, and someone's life ended.
I don't. Here's where you're confusing me. If you see an old lady being robbed of her purse and you decide to step in and hold the criminal until the police come, that's not keeping a.
See, Handsome, that's what I'm telling you. He wasn't doing that though.
What was he doing?
Didn't do it.
Then what do you think he was
threatening people? He was just threatening people. He was mouthing off. No, I understand. I get you. Like I said, I get you. Me, myself, personally, someone goes onto a train like that and he starts going around, and you've seen videos where people are just talking shit to people. I'd knock him out. I'd go to jail for assault, whatever, but I would have knocked him out. I would have knocked the shit out of him. That's just me. But it still would be wrong what I did. Even though it's the right thing to do, in the eyes of the law, it's the wrong thing.
If somebody is, hold on. If somebody is threatening to physically harm you, what are you saying? The law requires you wait till they actually start doing it before you act? I don't know if Alexis.
You know what I mean?
No, repeat
That's
that.
What I'm saying now.
Hold on, you dropped out. Repeat that.
Okay. What was I saying?
I asked.
The law. Yeah, I mean, I have to. If I hit someone, it's assault, right?
Yeah. Yes.
The guy's threatening me. I'm going to defend myself. But apparently, in New York, you can't do that. Now, again, they restrained him, but they overdid it. So that's kind of where you have to pay the price. Now, should he do 15 years? No. I mean, you have to look at the circumstances of everything that happened and stuff like that, and give him some probation, maybe 6 months in jail. I don't know. I don't know what a human life is worth. I mean, to the point of the whole situation that's happened. I mean, it's just the guy put himself in a bad situation because he was fucking on drugs, addicted, the fucking ranting and raving, having an episode. The mental stability of this guy was all off, and on top of that, our mental system and our justice system is all fucked up anyway. Hopefully, we'll fix it, but I mean, there are so many factors going in there, and then you have a guy happens to be white,
Yeah.
takes things into his own hands. Other people help him, they restrain him, but he took too long, held him under till he passed out. I mean, and passed away. I mean,
Yeah.
what do you do?
Yeah, I don't.
You know?
I agree with you. 15 years in prison seems ridiculously insane for this. Not only that, but then he has a felony on his record for a large portion of his life for simply trying to be a good Samaritan. I think that's way overkill.
I agree. I mean, it's just an ugly situation all the way around, Hanson. The problem is that right now, of course, the so-called BLM, whatever, no justice, no peace, is going to get excited. They're probably going to cause a ruckus. They're probably going to start looting and ranting and burning and shit like that. But
No.
it is what it is.
And they're not going to burn anything over this. Now, I have heard that they've told him maybe he needs to get out of town for a while. There's been threats against the guy, but I don't expect anybody to set a town on fire or nothing like that over him. I mean, if it was the police, maybe something different, but listen, he was taken to a court of law. They say no justice, no peace, but you got justice. He was found not guilty by a jury of his peers. Usually you set towns on fire when they do nothing at all about the death of a black person. Like with George Floyd, where they saw it on television and they were doing nothing for several days. But if the guy is tried in court among a jury of his peers and he's found not guilty, it is what it is.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I mean, it's the same thing like with George Floyd. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It is what it is. The guys went to jail for it. They overdid it. Some say he died of the overdose. Some say he passed.
No, I'm not gonna put hold on, hang on. I'm not gonna put what happened with what is this guy's name, Daniel Perry, in the same case as Derek Chauvin with George Floyd, because Daniel Perry started out with no help. George Floyd's killer, the police, 4 guys are sitting there. You got 4 other officers on scene. There is no excuse to hold that guy down for 9 minutes.
I agree. I'm with you.
Okay.
All right. It was excessive. I agree. It was excessive. I'm not saying he deserved it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like I said, it's just you don't do that. Hopefully they never do that. Shit
Right.
like that. Bad cops should go away for life. That's just my opinion. I dig cops, but if you're a bad cop, that should be taken within a group. The cops should be the ones expelling these people.
Fair.
You shouldn't have to take the death of a citizen to be able to.
Or a town being set fire shouldn't have to happen either. If they would actually hold that stuff, actually hold those folks accountable. A lot of these towns that have been looted and rioted, that stuff wouldn't happen. It's usually when nothing is being done for an extended period of time. Huh?
They shouldn't be burning that shit down. They shouldn't be burning towns down at all. Period.
No, I don't.
If you want to go protest at the police stations. Go protest police stations. Don't be protesting Walgreens and Targets.
Well, the reason I agree with you that it's wrong to burn down somebody's business, but at the end of the day, that is, I hate to say it, the American way, starting with the Boston Tea Party. When you start rioting and looting, it causes the mayor and the government to it forces their hand. But if they went down to the police station and protested, they would just arrest them at the police station. Nothing would come out of it. That's just like with January 6th. When you protest, people have to listen.
Did you just use the Boston Tea Party to justify the George Floyd riots?
Yes, I did. I am saying I'm using the Boston Tea Party to suggest that rioting and looting is the American way. That's how a lot of things have been accomplished.
The reason they went to the harbor is they took it to the government. So go to the police station and do that shit.
And get shot.
If you're upset at the police, you go to the police station. They were upset with the British tea taxing and shit like that, so they dumped the tea into the harbor. It's same thing. Same thing.
I think it's
some Sarah Wilson's house and burn her shit down.
I actually believe Black Lives Matter would be far less successful if they went to the police station and protested. That's just my opinion. They would come out there and arrest them all.
Successful, handsome.
Huh?
Black Lives Matter was not successful except for buying a bunch of mansions for a bunch of rich people, a couple people.
Yeah,
it was successful. They stole a lot of money.
I vehemently disagree with you. I can name all sorts of people like Amar Diallo and all of them folks that would not have gotten justice if Black Lives Matter hadn't showed up. Trayvon Martin, even though George Zimmerman was found not guilty, there would have been no trial if Black Lives Matter didn't show up. They were going to just let that dude go. There's a whole bunch of people like that if BLM had not come there, huh?
I don't remember BLM with Zimmerman, and I remember
Yeah,
BLM with fucking Michael Brown.
yeah, it was
That
BLM
kid
and
deserved
it was
that kid got
BL.
what he deserved, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was BLM and Al Sharpton that went down there with George Zimmerman. There was another guy also, a white guy that started arguing with a black woman for her boyfriend parking in a handicapped parking lot. Boyfriend comes out, pushes the old man to the ground, and he shoots and kills him. They gave that guy his gun back until BLM came down there protesting. That old man is now in prison, probably for the rest of his life. The same with Amar Diallo.
He pushed the man down on the ground, and the man on the ground shot him and killed him.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that seems fair. That seems pretty legit.
If I push you to the ground, you believe you have the right to use deadly force?
Yeah, if I'm an old man and I can't defend myself like that, fuck yeah.
If you're an old man and you can't defend yourself, why the hell are you out here starting shit with people?
Well, I could be talking shit. Doesn't mean you have to put your hands on me.
No,
Free speech. Come on.
You're out there
Break
doing
this down
it.
for an hour, bro.
You're out there doing it because you know you got a gun in your hand. I'll submit to you that old man, George Zimmerman, Kyle Rittenhouse, these folks are acting this way because they know they got guns on them. If take away the gun, and none of them would be acting the way they did. Kyle Rittenhouse would not have been out there, even though I agree it was self-defense, but he would not have been there without a gun. George Zimmerman would not have.
Yeah, that's why he had the gun, though. He was there defending his friend's property.
No, he wasn't.
He had a reason to be armed.
He wasn't defending shit. The guy testified he never even asked him to be there.
Bro, we're not gonna get into all this again, are we? Come on. George Zimmerman George Zimmerman, Kyle Rittenhouse, that kid got off right, and he ridded this world of a couple scumbags.
I'm not saying that. I believe Kyle Rittenhouse was 100% self-defense, but what I'm saying is that everybody testified. Nobody asked him to actually be there. Nobody asked Kyle Rittenhouse to pretend like he was a paramedic or something. He did that all on his own. The property that he was allegedly defending, the owner of that property said, I never asked him to do this. He decided to do that on his own because he had a gun.
All right.
I got to move it on. Go ahead.
They did the right thing. But hey, Handsome, I haven't talked to you in a way long time since the election. We did it, buddy. You and I. We got him through, bro.
I ain't got nothing to do with that. It is indeed.
And remember, all these cases, what did we say? I told you it was bullshit. I told you they were bullshit.
No. Hold on, hang on. Trump's cases were not bullshit. We don't know whether they were bullshit or whether they were legit. We'll never know because you'll never find out. He's essentially sweeping the cases under the rug. It's not like he's going to go to court and prove that they're bullshit and he's innocent. He's going to make it so they never go to court at all. So we don't know.
Bro, he's innocent. It was all bullshit. We all know that. Come on.
Until
now.
I hear
Come
what
on, you guys can hang on to that. It's up to you. You guys want to hang on to that? We'll never know. But we all knew it was all bullshit. We knew it was bullshit. They brought charges on him just because he was who he was. That's all it was. They made shit up. Now that's why they had to suck on it now. And too bad.
You could be.
I love you though, and I'm glad he's our president.
All right, Wolf. Thanks for coming through as always. My door's always good to talk to you again, man. Good to talk to you.
Good talking to you. Happy New Year.
Absolutely. You too. You too. And I'll repeat what I said. I don't know if the cases against Trump were bullshit or not. I do believe the Alvin Bragg case where he got the 34 felonies was a case that he would not likely have been dealing with if he wasn't running for president. Same thing I said about Hunter Biden. If his dad was not Joe Biden, Hunter Biden wouldn't be dealing with that shit either. But the remaining 60 plus indictment charges against Trump, I don't know if they're bullshit or not until I have actually heard what the prosecution wants to present against Trump. I can't just rule it out as being bullshit. It might be bullshit, but I haven't heard what they're going to present because Trump is now going to get rid of people like Fonnie Willis and all of them. You'll never know what they're going to present. So I can't just say the guy is innocent on default. Anyhow, he's guilty of sin, says Miss Mobetta. Says he's guilty of sin. So we're talking about, obviously, Daniel Perry, but I did want to ask this question. Started out this way because Trump had a interview on Meet the Press, and he has talked about, he actually said that Liz Cheney, quote unquote, should be in jail. He referenced Jack Smith. Obviously, we know he's talked about General Milley and a host of others. I'm asking, do you believe Trump will be a vengeful president? Or maybe people are taking him too literal taking them out of context. But he did say, and I quote, they should be in jail. Talking about the people that haven't investigated them. Liz Cheney being one of them. I'm asking, do you think Trump will be a vengeful president, or maybe the liberals are overstating it? Tap the screen, by the way. I haven't asked you folks to do that. Tap the screen, get the likes up to about 15,000. We can make that happen. We don't block, ban, or censor anyone for their commentary. I'll go right back to the box. It was purely political, whether they were real or not. So, well, anytime you charge a politician, it's political. 100%. Anytime you charge a politician with a crime, it's political, because it's going to be treated differently by a criminal system that is on his side of the aisle versus one that's not. It's always political. I 100% agree it's political. But I'm asking, do you see this guy? Because keep in mind, that means if you're going to see it as political against Trump, if he goes after Liz Cheney, Jack Smith, Dr. Fauci, and all these other people he's talking about, that's political too. That is political too. Clearly, the liberals are not interested in criminally prosecuting Dr. Fauci. Is Trump. So that'll be political too. Trump 2024, let's fucking go, says Everclips. Well, you've already won that. Let me go back to the box. More like Trump 2025 now. Continuing on with Blackjack. All my subscribers get first digs. Blackjack, good evening. Welcome to the program. So what do you think? Do you see Trump as being vengeful, or is this something the liberals are just taken out of context to fearmonger, so to speak?
He's definitely vengeful. It's not even a question.
And what makes you believe he's going to be vengeful?
He already said it. Everything Trump say, he's going to do. That way everybody believes, right?
Promises made, promises kept.
Exactly. So he's going to do what he say he's going to do. Simple as that.
So, go ahead.
Now, I'm going to say for your last caller, we're going to burn it down. That's the only time the U.S. government going to hear us, if we burn stuff down.
Damn.
Simple as that.
I wish I could disagree with you, but historically, that probably, Martin Luther King believed in doing it peacefully, and he did get shot in the face for his trouble. So, I guess you're, as bad as that sounds, I don't want any innocent business owner, shop or storefront owner losing their business, but that does seem to move the needle faster than any damn thing else.
Oh, well, they didn't care when they was burning down our city.
What do you mean, like as in Black Wall Street or something?
Black Wall Street, Ocoee, Florida, numerous.
Yeah, Greenville, South Carolina, I think.
And they flooded out our cities. They put dams, flooded them out with water, put highways through our cities. Come on, man.
What city? Now, I'm learning something here. What city was flooded out with water? Damn.
In Georgia. I can't think of the name of it right now, but you can look it up.
They actually deliberately flooded a city of African Americans?
Yes, Lake Lenoir. That's the name of it. Lake Lenoir, I think that's the name of it.
Yes. That might be somebody to look up. Lake Lenoir, Georgia. Damn. I've never heard of that one. All right, let me ask you also, in regards to another topic I brought up. Now, this CEO, the guy who was gunned down in cold blood in New York, apparently they've caught the killer. This is news that's coming out right now, but apparently they've caught the killer at some McDonald's in Pennsylvania or whatever. Why the hell do you think so many Americans were rooting for this dude to get away with murder?
It's simple fact that because the health insurance companies has been ripping us off for years, right? You pay all this money into the system.
Right.
And then when it's time for you to make a claim, it's this, that, and the third. They don't want to pay. They don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole bunch of bullcrap. So that's why a lot of people was rooting for this guy to get away with it.
But you were talking about murder, though. Yeah, health insurance company. Oh, to be honest with you, because I'm pissed off at CarShield for what they did to me earlier this year. All insurance companies. What was it? Depose, deny, and what was the other? It was 3 words: depose and deny, or whatever the hell was on the bullet cartridges or whatever, or on the shell casings. All insurance companies do that, though. The health insurance companies, you had somebody that could be losing their life, but your auto insurance and your homeowner's insurance with hurricanes and shit, they all do that.
That is true, which is a bunch of baloney. We should be able to fight against that, but we can't, right?
They force us to have insurance. They force us to pay all these high prices, and then when it's time for them to pay up, they take you through the ringer.
Yeah. So what about the notion we do have a new president now, one that has promised to drain the swamp and end corruption? Is it possible that some of this stuff will be curtailed under Trump? Maybe he'll get the insurance companies to treat its customers better?
Now you out here telling jokes. Come on, man.
How is that a joke?
Media, man. Come on, man.
He promised to drain the swamp.
I know what he promised. He added to the swamp. He tried to put Matt Gaetz as the Attorney General. Get out of here, man. That's a swamp.
Well, a lot of folks favorite putting Matt Gaetz in there. I mean, for all you know, Matt Gaetz could be. You got what is his name? You got Kennedy in there talking about he's going to get the health industry or the food industry back up. I mean,
well, we know Kennedy is a nut, right? But the thing is, I like the fact that he's gonna actually put some strains on the health food, because we need that in our system. All this poison and stuff they feeding us on a regular basis, it's not allowed in other countries.
Right.
So I agree with him on that, but he's still a cuckoo guy, man. Don't get it twisted.
He's still a cuckoo. Well, here's the thing about it. I don't want to get too deep into Kennedy, but I will say this. The only way I believe he could do what he's talking about doing is running as a Democrat. I mean, the Republican Party is talking about states' rights, small government, less regulation, and getting rid of all of these three-letter organizations. Kennedy needs all of that to do what he wants to do. You're not going to do what he's talking about doing, controlling ingredients that go into kids' foods and things like that, by getting rid of regulations. You're going to have to create new regulations, maybe limiting how much sodium can go in this or limiting how much sugar can go in that. You need more regulations. You need more government to do that. And Trump is proposing just the opposite.
He can propose what he wants. He know what he put in there. He know what Kennedy's gonna do. RFK. Everybody knows what he's trying to do. So he can tell you one thing. You can make your mouth fry chicken. That's what we say down here in the South. You can make me believe anything you want. That don't mean it's gonna happen, right?
Okay.
He know what Kennedy's gonna do, and that's what he's gonna do. And like I said, Kennedy is a cuckoo nut. But I agree with things he say.
You're not suggesting that Trump may be making some false promises or selling wolf tickets, are you?
Oh, you already know that. Come on.
I
don't need to say anything else about it, man. Come on, man.
Well, just for shits and giggles, give me two things that Trump has promised that you feel confident is not going to happen.
Deport all these people back to their country. That's one.
Okay, now obviously he can't deport 100%. What if he deported 70%? Is that meeting his goal?
Oh yeah, that's meeting his goal. I would like that. I ain't gonna front. Get him out of here.
So you'd be happy with 70% of immigrants that are here illegally being deported?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Okay.
Most definitely. The thing about it, I'm a black man, and we grew up voting Democrat, right? I vote Democrat because I don't vote for Republicans because they're a detriment to my race. But we are conservatives in our beliefs.
Well, you don't say something I got to challenge you on. How are the Republicans a detriment to the black race is what you're indicating? Thank you for the subscription there, Steve, or the extension. How are you suggesting that the Republicans are a detriment to the black race?
Because look at the things they implemented: stop and frisk, giving people police's immunity. Things of that is hurt for our race, right?
Well, the police immunity is something Trump is promising, but that hasn't been done. But if you talk about stop and frisk and things like that, you know people are going to bring up with Joe Biden with the crime bill. He's not a Republican.
Okay, you can't blame Joe Biden for that only. You got to blame the black caucus. You got to blame our grandmothers and grandfathers. Everybody wanted that to happen. Come on.
Well,
it was out of control back then.
But if you're going to defend Biden's crime bill by saying everybody wanted it, well, when Giuliani came over with stop and frisk, a hell of a lot of New Yorkers wanted that too.
Well, that is true, but now they're trying to put it nationwide. So when they do stop and frisk on me and you just walking down the street or getting out of our car and giving them immunity, that's kind of fearful in this country for us, don't you think?
I wouldn't favor it. I wouldn't favor it, but they're not saying they're going to only do stop and frisk on black people, are they?
Oh, come on. How many times you see them when they did stop and frisk in New York? What is the percentage of black people they stopped and frisk and Spanish people to the white people?
There's got to be a third base or an M&M out there somewhere, don't they?
Oh, come on. You will have one out of 100,000, but then you have 100,000 blacks, and you have like 70,000 of them being stopped and frisk.
So you could see. You actually agree with a lot of conservative principles and policies, but you believe that Republicans, conservatives, are not favorable to blacks. So that's pretty much a deal breaker for you. Is that what I'm hearing?
The new Republicans, right? Yes. These MAGA Republicans I'm talking about, they just far out there, like insane. Marjorie Taylor Greene.
You said insane.
You got Jim, what's his name? The guy that used to be at Penn State.
Jim?
What's his name? The white guy. I can't think of his name.
I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to think who you're talking about myself, but
he the one that always opposed the January 6th board.
Yeah, I see somebody said Jim Jordan.
Jim Jordan. Yeah, that clown.
All right.
Come on, man. You got all these crazy people out there. Come on. So yeah.
Fair enough. All right, so you see him as being vengeful. Daniel Perry, though, I don't know if I covered that with you just briefly. With Daniel Perry being found not guilty, do you believe that the jury got it right?
I'm ex-military too, so
thank you for your service.
I think he went a little too long, but at the same time, you don't have a clock in your head when you're trying to do something to restrain somebody. It's like it's almost, I don't know. It's that's a touchy situation. That's a close. It's
animalistic. It's in you. It's almost like it's a reflex of sorts. You're saying it's not something you're sitting there thinking about.
Right.
All right.
That's what I'm saying. So you that time in your head is not there, right? At that time you're trying to detain him, and if he's just fighting, you're trying to stop him from fighting, and you're not knowing how long you're choking him out. As far as you know what I'm saying.
Are you actually? It sounds like you actually giving Derek Chauvin of George Floyd an acquittal. Then he didn't know.
Not Derek Chauvin. That's people was trying to stop him. You see the difference?
Yeah, I get it.
They weren't trying to stop the other guy. They was trying to stop Chauvin, and he had numerous of people trying to stop that clown.
Yeah. I'm joking. I get your point. So if you were on the jury, Daniel Perry walks, right? Or Daniel Penny. Daniel Penny walks.
9 times out of 10, yeah, I think he probably walked.
All right, fair enough. All right, Black Jack, good conversation. Thanks for coming through.
Hey, it's the first time I've ever been up here. I've been in your thing a long time. You never pulled me up, but nice to talk to you, bro.
We'll certainly make that a change. Appreciate it. I'll remember the name. One of my favorite games to gamble on, other than craps. Thank you.
All right, you have a blessed day, bro.
You too. And bear with me, folks. I will occasionally say Daniel Perry as opposed to Daniel Penny, because I did a story on Daniel Perry about a year ago. Daniel Perry was the Uber driver down in Austin, Texas, that deliberately put himself in the middle of a Black Lives Matter protest, honked his horn because they were blocking off the street. And when they came to block his car, one of the protesters had a firearm on him, and he shot and killed him. Now, Daniel Perry was found guilty and about to do a long stint in prison for killing a Black Lives Matter protester. And Governor Abbott of Texas pardoned him. That was another controversial case that I covered on a live earlier. So if you hear me saying Daniel Perry, it's because I covered that case and his name sounds so close to Daniel Penny. But we're talking about Daniel Penny today. And going back to the box, appreciate you folks that are sharing the live and tapping the screen. Get the likes up to about 20,000. Going back to the box or to the comment section, Peter Cruz, I love you all. Just don't letting people hurt you. Thank you, Peter. Appreciate it. We try not to go into the herd mentality. I push back on the left and right. If I hear something worthy of pushing back, I get corrected all the damn time as well. I'll admit I don't have all the answers either. So that's why we have a free speech forum here. When we say we go left of Bernie Sanders to I'm having dinner with Q, we mean it. We cover the entire political spectrum, and we do it from an aspect of free speech. So you can be critical of anyone in the comment section up to and including the host. That's how we do it. Real quick, looking in the comments, and people all fired up at rallies was dumb to start shit. Well, you go to a rally and you're being told things that fire you up, it's going to happen. You know, there was a I guess the January 6th rally is very similar to, you know, a Black Lives Matter gathering. People were telling you things to literally infuriate you. Wasn't there a Black Lives Matter protester that stood on top of a car and said, we're going to burn this shit down? I mean, that's very similar to you know, let's have trial by combat, which is what Rudolph Giuliani said. And by the way, I don't know anybody at the end of a Black Lives Matter protest that says, let's go peacefully and patriotically down to the police station. Doesn't work like that after you've infuriated a bunch of people, but it does work for Trump. Looking in the comments, we're talking about the CEO losing his life. I see in the comments, Steve Smith says, how dirty was the CEO of an insurance company? I don't know if he was dirty, but I will assume based on their policies, he was unsympathetic to what his customers may go through. If they got a policy that says you're not covered for something, they don't care if that's something you need might be what's required to save your life or at least give you a better quality of life. They're looking at it from a dollar, you know, bottom line perspective. So I don't know if he was dirty, but I'm going to assume he was very unsympathetic. That's how you make all of that money. Let me go back to the box, continuing on with Bob Paytner. Good evening. Welcome to the program. Why are so many people, he asked the question, was that CEO dirty? Bob, I guess I'd ask the question, why the hell was so many Americans rooting for the best wishes of a murderer? They were rooting for a murderer to get away with that. Bob, how do you feel about it? I mean, are you one of the individuals that was hoping that guy was never caught? Bob, no, are you there?
No, I mean,
yeah.
I don't think anybody has the right to take it. Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think anybody has the right to kill somebody for any reason unless they're being shot.
Bob, I may have to drop you. You clearly got a signal issue. I'm going to drop you and have you come back up. There's some kind of signal issue. I only had like a bar or two from you, and there was no way to have the conversation with you going in and out like that. But I'll keep it moving with Miss Mo Betta. Good evening. Welcome to the program. Miss Mo Betta, good to hear you. Good to have you back on again. I'll ask you about the Daniel Perry case. Now, with you being an African-American female, him being found not guilty, I'm going to ask you, did the jury get it right, Miss Mo Betta?
No, they did not. They did not get that right, simply because if this man, all right, you can't just decide you're going to take somebody out because they were getting on your nerves.
Okay, hang on. You're kind of muffled. I don't know if can you hear me? I hear you, but you're muffled. Okay, she paused. I'll give her a second to correct whatever's going on there. Yeah, much better.
Okay. They did not get it right. You can't decide you just want to take somebody out because they were getting on your nerves. And if he didn't know that what he was doing was going to take him out, he shouldn't have did it. And for them to say that he was trained, the end result said that he wasn't.
But think about what you just said. You said you can decide to take someone out because they're getting on your nerves. You're indicating that he literally decided to kill this guy. Is that the way you feel?
Well, I do, because at this point when there were people were suggesting to him that, okay, enough is enough, he still felt the need that I'm going to hold him down. Now, there was no reports of this man physically doing anything to anybody.
Right, he's threatening to kill people, though.
A threat is something different.
If you're sitting on public transportation and some dude is walking, standing up over you, threatening to kill you, what do? You just let him do it?
No, did he act on it?
So what are you saying? They should wait till he actually is in the process of trying to kill people before they act?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he went too far.
Yeah.
The man killing him went too far. The jury got it wrong. He should have been charged, even if it wasn't manslaughter. Even if it wasn't manslaughter, he still should have been charged.
Well, he was charged. He just beat the charges. But you believe he should have been convicted and sent to prison.
Convicted, yes, convicted. Absolutely, he should have been convicted. I think it was another premature justice, in my opinion. It was premature. The system kind of failed again, because now what's going to happen is, oh, this guy was getting on my nerves, so let me choke him out. You know how many times that can happen now?
Well, I don't know if I agree with you. Well, here's my take. You see these videos floating around, women getting their purse snatched, or a guy getting the crap beat up out of him, and nobody's helping. I tend to think that when people look at what happened with Daniel Penny, and yeah, he walked, he's found not guilty, but I don't know how many thousands of dollars he owes to his lawyers. I tend to think this could have a negative result in regards to people who want to be a good Samaritan. Would you do what he did or help out at all if you thought that you could end up like that?
Well, see, the scenarios that you're looking at are a little different, because somebody was physically harmed. If somebody comes snatches your purse, that's something. But I'm from New York. I've rode on subways to where people are yelling and saying things all day long. That's almost the norm in New York.
People threatening to kill you is a norm?
They say there's people in my own family members that I'm gonna kill your ass. Like, come on.
To a total stranger.
You have to use your better judgment when you see things like that, because again, they kept saying that this man is getting on my nerves, so I'm gonna do something about it. You can't have it that way. I'm sorry. He should have been charged. He should have been convicted. Even if it wasn't manslaughter, he should have been convicted.
So you would have been.
If I was on the jury, I would have found him guilty.
Okay, you're on the jury, you found him guilty, and now you're deciding a decent sentence. What would you? What type of time you think you should get for this?
Listen, like a 2.5, maybe 2.5 to 4.
2.5 to 4 years in prison.
2.5 to 4 on a charge like that.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't go set out with the intent of killing anybody that day, allegedly. You know what I'm saying? We really don't know what his head is like, because when you don't put him on the stand, you let them off the hook for not speaking as to why he did what he did. That's why I don't like when they don't allow the people to actually get on the stand and have to defend themselves. Let's defend what you did, but you don't have to, because you pay all this money for the lawyers to get you out of it.
I don't know. I believe the guy was indeed trying to restrain him. Maybe he overdid it. Because obviously the guy died, so he clearly overdid something. But I don't believe he was actually trying to hurt the guy. I believe he was trying to hold him until the police arrived, and in the process of doing so, he killed the guy.
Yeah, and he still should be charged for that.
2 to 4.5 years in prison, and he's gonna have a felony on his record.
Listen, how many times you had to pay for your consequences? How many times you had to pay? There's consequences for your actions.
How would you respond to some folks who might suggest walking on a subway and threatening to kill a bunch of strangers? You're the one that gets the consequences, not the guy who restrains you, but the consequences.
Listen, again, maybe I'm cut from a different cloth, because you can talk all day. You could talk all day. He didn't flash a weapon. He didn't touch anybody physically. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, yelling at people, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna kill you. Go sit your ass down somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Go sit down.
What if somebody is truly afraid of him, though, Mr. Mobat? Everybody ain't just gonna be that hard.
I'm sure there probably is, but that doesn't mean he should have paid with his life. I'm sorry. The man he went overboard, and he should have to pay for that.
Oh, 2 to 4 years. All right.
Now, what you know what it's going to cause now is civil unrest. It's going to cause. Don't
so.
Pull your face up. I know how your face do.
Yeah, let me tell you why I disagree with you. Okay, Daniel Penny was found not guilty. It's not like the Supreme Court ruled that you have the right to do this. Okay, Daniel Penny got away with it. That don't mean the next guy that is happy what Daniel Penny got away with can go out and do it and hope to get the same results. When they say results are not typical, there's no guarantee that if you do what Daniel Penny did, first of all, you may not even be able to afford his lawyers. There's no guarantee the same is going to happen. the next guy that does what Daniel Penny does may have you sitting on the train as a witness. He's not getting away with that shit. So I don't believe it's gonna be civil unrest.
That's a long stretch though. Just to sit around and say, oh well, it's going to happen again. What I'm saying is, people are not. There's going to be more people upset with the verdict as opposed to
Yeah, I've heard that. I've
and
heard
that's
that.
that's what's going to cause the civil unrest with the civilians. You know what I'm saying? People are going to take to the streets. I hope not.
Wow.
I hope not. We can't really afford none of that right now. But
So you my first guess was saying there was going to be rioting and looting. So you sound like you're thinking that that's a possibility.
It's very possible. It's very possible.
Over
because
this?
we are listen, especially with New Yorkers.
Over
New Yorkers
this? Even you who believe the guy was wrong to saying he should only get 2 to 4.5. You gonna riot and loot for that?
No, it ain't because of. It's gonna be because they allowed him to get away with murder.
They didn't allow him to get away with it. He got to pay a fortune in legal fees. He spent nights wondering, was he going to go down for manslaughter? He didn't get away with that.
You know what's probably happening now, Tim? They probably got to go GoFundMe now to pay those legal fees.
Maybe, but
Yeah. No, we seen this stuff happening. We see it happen.
it does happen like that. Kyle Rittenhouse made a bunch of money. Yeah, it does happen like that. I'm sure.
It happens. How many GoFundMes they had to get to pay for Trump's fees and different things like that? Come on, there's ways around it, and we already know. I try not to go there, but when it comes to race, there are different rules.
Wow. Well, let me ask you this, because I think I know how you're going to respond to this, but you're talking about raising GoFundMes and treating the guy like a hero. Judge Jeanine Pirro of Fox News, I don't know if you are aware who that is, but Judge Jeanine Pirro of Fox News today suggested that President Trump should weigh in and give this guy, a Medal of Honor for being a really good Samaritan. She did say that. She said that today.
See, stuff like that is what's really going to cause the civil unrest.
Yeah.
It's going to take people. It's tapping into people's emotion. It's going to tap into people's character, and it's going to take it to where they claim they don't want it to go. But
you don't think Trump would do that though, do you?
Ain't no telling what he'd do. I couldn't even say yes or no. Ain't no telling what he'd do. You already see the levels of things that happen, and he gets away with everything. So
but that would certainly be, in my opinion, that's one he should stay out of. Even if you believe like I do, you and I disagree. You and I disagree on whether Daniel Penny should have been charged, but I don't think the president should weigh in on it at all, because that is very divisive.
There's plenty of stories like that out there where people get away with things like that. This is not the first time this stuff has happened. So, like you said, you had the George Zimmerman, and we can go on. The list goes endless. I posted on my Instagram today of all the black people that were unalived for unjustly. Wow. So,
Last question before I move on. Daniel Penny is a black man. Jordan Neely is a black. What if they were both black? You think this case would be as outrageous as it is now?
No, they would listen. No, it might not even made the news.
So then Daniel Penny didn't do anything wrong. It's just a bunch of people are pissed off that a white guy saved the day. Sounds like.
Maybe he didn't do anything wrong, but the justice system did. The jury did. At this point, the jury's wrong.
But you're telling me that if Daniel Penny was a black guy, the black community would not be that outraged.
Oh, you saying the black community? Oh,
yeah.
Listen. No, we wouldn't have. Believe it or not. Sadly, we should have that same energy when it comes to us doing us.
So then that makes it sound like the black community that are outraged about this is just a bunch of racists. They're only doing it because it's a white dude. They don't care about the death of this guy.
That's very possible. Tim. That's very possible, because this is what this country was built on. Was built on racism. I don't know whether you or your listeners know it or not. This country was.
If you don't know that, if you're an American and you don't know the country was founded on racism, you're just literally turning a blind eye to the truth.
Well, see, that's the truth. That's exactly it. That's it, and that's what's been happening. That's why they don't want CRT, and they made DEI a curse word, and different things like, oh yeah, they did. DEI is now a curse word. Oh, she's a DEI hire. It's a DEI hire. Everything. Oh, it's a DEI hire.
Wow.
But when they do it, it's not a problem. And see, this is why race is always brought up, because there are two different systems. There's different levels in the system, and that's why it doesn't sit well when things like this happen, when people get away with something that they should actually pay for.
Yeah, but this falls right into the category when people criticize Black Lives Matter and they say you don't give a damn about black on black crime that happens in your neighborhood. You only seem to care when a cop or a white person does it. You're kind of admitting that's true.
No, in some instances it is, but we hold our people accountable. It's just not televised.
All right, fair enough. All right, and I agree with some of that. I agree with some of that, but I got to move it on, Mr. Mobile.
Listen, you see how they trying to wear Puffy out now? People are mad, like, oh, black people are happy to see other black people fail. Listen, number one, and this is another lesson. When you see a lot of times when you see black people go against black people, it's trained and learned behavior from generation to generation to generation. And this is going to take you to go reading books and books and stuff like that, and it'll teach you. Read that Willie Lynch letter.
I've never
Willie
heard
Lynch
that.
letter, a very quick read, a few pages, and it'll teach you why a lot of black people are against each other, because they have us bucking for a spot, have us fighting against each other, thinking we have to compete for a certain spot, because that's what used to happen. Oh, I want to be in a big house, so I'm going off or tell or do whatever to my people so I can have the good spot.
All right. So sound like the house Negroes fighting against the field Negroes.
Exactly.
I gotta move it on, though, Mr. Mobile.
Like Django.
Willie Lynch letter, huh? All right.
No, read it, Tim. I'm telling you.
All right. We'll be talking. Thank you, Mr. Mobile. Appreciate you coming through. All right. Good talk as always. Don't blame your problems on others, says Cali Dog. Well, a lot of folks like to blame things that are going on. I mean, listen, Trump is going to be in office soon. I'm guaranteeing you anything to go wrong, Trump going to have somebody else to blame. That's kind of the American way. Well, this chick isn't doing anything to stop it. Quite the opposite, says Sheldon Walls. Life's not fair. Me. David, I agree with you. Life has never been fair, but that don't mean you just ignore the unfairness, does it? The use of color to label people widely allows individuals to divide themselves by those colors. It's an old manipulation tool. Purple Squirrel, a lot of name. That is true, and that is the American way. We've been doing that since day one. Let me go back to the box and ask you folks to tap the screen, get us up to about 30 thou. 30 thou, THOU, 30 thou. Tap the screen, share it live. You know how this works. We don't block, ban, or censor anyone. We've been MAGA friendly since day one. Always have been, always will be. Going back to the box, Daniel Penny, not guilty. Manslaughter, Friday, and now we're talking negligent homicide. He was still facing up to 4 years in prison, which is what my last guest suggested he should do. 2.5 to 4 years in prison for negligent homicide. My take is he was a good Samaritan. Things happen, mistakes happen, but a lot of folks disagree with me and suggest that he should have done some time behind bars. Continuing on with the program, we'll go to Mama Bear. Good evening. Welcome to the program, Mama Bear. Always good to get some females on the program. We're talking about also asking that question. Do you see Trump could be a very effective president, get the economy on track, end some of the wars and things like that? But we're asking, do you think he will be a vengeful commander-in-chief? Do you believe he will be operating with one of the goals being revenge on his adversaries? We're going to talk about that. I don't know if the box is problematic with Mama Bear. We'll give it a moment to reset there. I can't actually just make friends with somebody like that unless they realize and admit that they screwed up, and then that'd be different. I don't know who you're referring to there, KR, Bobby McPherson. I don't. People have killed people for having weird hats. Oh my God, I don't know where that could go. Have we seen any weird hats around here anywhere? Weird hats. What is your definition? Who said that? Steve Smith. People have killed people for having weird hats. What is your definition of a weird hat? I think we have one here that is probably about 74 million strong. So I'm going to assume the MAGA hat is not one of those. I mean, it's got to be at least 74 million of these folks in the country. So I don't know if that's the hat. You really think he's going to get anything done? Not just hurting everything. Yeah, I can see Trump getting things done. I don't think there's any president that is going to be 100% ineffective. Keep in mind, he got Roe v. Wade rolled back for at least a chunk of this country that was getting something done. I'm pro-choice, but millions of Americans are pro-life. He got something done. He may not get things done that you favor, but I think Trump will get a lot done for folks that want him in office or wanted him in office. Going back to the box, Alan Quinn. Good evening. Welcome to the program. Don't know what happened with Mama Bear. Economy is good and it's going to be bad. I think you're saying, and they will blame Biden.
Tim.
Alan, what am I getting wrong?
Tim. Now, the man already told the people. Oh, no. Let me take that back. He didn't tell them, hey, I can't guarantee you that prices are going to get lower. He already said it. It's on video. I'm waiting, foaming at the mouth to hear Julio and MAGA Reacts and Gen Xer come on down.
So what you're saying is Trump's promises, at least economic ones, are going to fail, and MAGA are going to make excuses for why they're failing.
Julio was lining up right now, writing out his notes. Yeah, see, he didn't actually promise that it was going to happen. He said, and like last night, what he meant was, he used these words, but those aren't the words that he meant.
Well, I think most Americans did not like the Biden economy, and I think most people believe that under Trump, the economy will be better.
Here's the thing, Tim. Everybody has to vote according to their tax bracket, according to what goes on in their house with their money.
That's fair.
We can accept that.
Okay.
Don't sit up here and say BS behind it.
What do you mean by that? Wait a minute, what do you mean by that?
Okay, here's what happened. Just so we're clear. For 6 years and 3 months, 75 months, Obama created the best economy. Trump's smartest move ever, and I'll give him credit for this. He listened to somebody say, don't touch nothing. That man put us in position to win.
You don't believe that, do you?
Go look at it, Tim. 75 consecutive months of growth. Look at the unemployment rates. He followed the exact same model. He did not cut one of Obama's policies. Nothing in Obama's economic policy did he cut. What did he try to gut? He tried to gut the ACA. What happened when he tried it? Fell on his face.
Well, John McCain, he was talking about John McCain about doing it. He just brought that up at the Meet the Press interview he had this weekend. He's still talking about John McCain.
If John McCain had run against anybody else, I would have voted for him. John McCain is the most decent politician and he's a vet. I respect him, and I don't care what anybody else says. I would have voted for John McCain had he run against anybody else but Obama.
Wow. Okay. Well,
that's coming from I'm more of a centrist than left or right because I'm going to vote according to, like I said, my taxes and my pocket.
So you're saying that Trump followed the Obama's economic plan. So then let me ask you, how do you think Trump did? How do you think Trump did as president?
Oh, he was trash. He was trash. Now, I'm going to tell you why. Not because of the economy, because of the other stuff that went with it. I was trying to get on last night because here's the thing: when a president speaks, his words have power. They have influence.
Okay.
And what he has normalized is hypocrisy and lying from a party that touts itself as this. We're all about family rights. We're all about families and all this. So you're all about families, but you're dealing with a man who slept on his pregnant wife, whose wife is a porn star.
His wife is not a porn star. She was a model.
Not a porn star. She was in a magazine. Okay. And Putin put her all over state TV. So, you call it what you want to.
She's a model that, takes off a little bit more clothes than the average model.
He cheated on his first wife with his second wife. Cheated on his second wife. But we're about family values. We're about, being good Christians. He's told you he's not a Christian.
Yeah, but that was a long time ago he cheated. I mean,
Tim,
we're not gonna hold him accountable forever, are we?
Character matters. You can't sit up here and say, I want to be the leader of the free world.
Hold on, he cheated on his wife decades ago. Do you hold him accountable indefinitely?
Tim, all three of them, Tim.
But it was decades ago.
Tim, we hold Clinton to a certain standard. Why aren't we holding him to the standard?
You voted for Biden, and his crime bill put all kinds of black folks in jail. You forgave him, but Trump cheating on his wife with a porn star is that bad?
No, it's not just cheating on his wife. It's the fact that he doesn't believe in paying overtime, so he shorted a bunch of businessmen. It's the fact that he sat up here and the exonerated five, not the Central Park five, the exonerated five. I look like them boys. We were around the same age.
Okay, so what do you say? He has a problem with black people?
Hey, Tim, if you don't stop playing, Tim, stop playing. Be intellectually honest here, Tim. Come on.
I mean, I'm under the impression that Trump once dated a black woman. I'm under the impression that he's helped out a lot of black people.
Tim,
the man said he's done more for blacks than anybody since Abraham Lincoln.
So tell me something. Number one, he did sign funding for HBCUs, but he actually cut the funding, and Biden's done 7 times what he's done. He also prevented it from becoming. There's a lot here to unpack, but let's start with this, Tim. How about these black jobs? So the only black job in the Trump cabinet is HUD.
I don't know what that even is. I don't know what made him say black jobs.
Let's talk about it though. That's your boy. He likes us. He likes us.
Well, I'm hearing that Trump has created more opportunities for blacks than any other president in our lifetime.
Do you realize that the opportunity zones was an idea between Hakeem Jeffries and Tim Scott? It had nothing to do with damn Donald Trump. You do realize that, right?
I understand what you're saying, but I'm telling you.
And who took credit for it?
He did.
He didn't write the legislation. He didn't have anything to do with the legislation. Tim whipped the votes in the Senate. Hakeem Jeffries and all the guys jumped on board because it looks like us. So let's not act like Trump is coming to save our country.
Let me ask you this one. Since you're trying to indicate that Trump is kind of intolerant towards people of color, he was in office for 4 years, 2017 to 2021. What did he do to make you say, while in office, I don't want to hear about something that was 30, 40 years ago. What did Trump do from 17 to 21 while he was president that would lead you to believe he has a problem with people of color?
Can we include, number one, he separated families at the border. Let's start there.
Was that specifically people of color, though?
You don't think Mexicans are... He's trying to put a wall between us and Mexico, but he ain't said nothing about a wall between us and Canada.
He's talking about imposing a 25% tariff on Canada, too. He is talking about Canada.
Let's talk about this wall. You asked what he did.
I'm still asking.
So you want to cut off people of color from coming over here, whether they're Muslims or anybody else who is not white. He called, what is it? Oh, these are shithole countries. He didn't say nothing about anywhere in Scandinavia.
Well, wait a minute. When you say he wants to cut off people of color from coming here, he's made it clear he's fine with you coming here, just do it legally.
And they have done it legally. You and I go round and round about this, Tim. It is not that they're illegal. It is that we have a broken asylum process. I'm not saying that someone coming here because they're poor in their country is a reason to come to America. Okay. They come to America because they can abuse the asylum process that we have. It is a badly written law. I'm not arguing that it creates a problem.
But do you have an issue with...
The problem is that it's legal.
But do you not have an issue with the fact that so many people come in this country that we don't even know who the hell they are? They haven't been vetted or any of that?
Tim, we wrote the law. Whose fault is it?
What do you mean we wrote the law?
Our Congress wrote the asylum law.
Well, regardless of who wrote the law, Alan, isn't it nice to have a president like Trump that's trying to correct it?
They've been trying to correct him. He does not care about correcting the problem, because if he cared about correcting the problem, they would have sat there and let the legislation go through when they had the bill on the floor. It would have gave us more asylum judges. It would have given Border Patrol upgraded technology, and it would have been money to hire more Border Patrol.
So what are you saying? Trump is not going to do anything about the border?
Trump, I'm going to say he's going to do what you said, Tim, because here's what's going to happen. I want to see all these folks that are going to, I'm in North Carolina, you know this. I want to see all these folks go to these tobacco fields, these soybean fields, all these fields out here that we got that got agriculture in them. That when they make this, hey, we're going to pick up all the illegals. And a bottle of ketchup is $10. I don't want to hear nothing from nobody. When an avocado costs you $20, I don't want to hear nothing.
I don't know.
I think he'll do what you suggested, Tim, which is he's going to sit up here and parade out one or two people. Hey, look, this guy did this.
Yeah.
And Fox is going to be, oh, my God. They're going to make one guy seem like 1,000. And they're going to parade him on there, make it a big spectacle, and ship him off. And then he ain't going to do shit else the rest of the time.
So you don't see Trump as being an effective leader?
He's not. Tim, I know you got to play both sides. I know.
I'm just asking.
I would love to put some sodium pentothal and get a straight goddamn answer, Tim, because I know, Tim, I know.
I gotta go. You're talking too much. I gotta go.
Chicago, I want to have a drink because I'm gonna get the truth out of you, and I'm gonna tell everybody.
Oh my God, Alan, thanks for coming through.
Your voice should be in prison because how many of us have been killed by them and they don't ever face the charge? How many of them go out swinging axes like the man down in Florida, shoot up a BLM protest and kill people, and they never they get arrested? We show up with a weapon, we get shot and killed.
I hear your point. I disagree with you on Daniel Penny, but I gotta go, Alan. Oh my God. Catch you later. Let me move it on. Oh my Lord. Sodium. He wants to drug me to get the truth. Funny though. Exceptionally funny. I enjoyed that. JB says you're right with some point. Talking about the caller, he says, I always remember both sides fight each other and block for things not to go through. We never get it right because of both sides. That is true. There is too much divisiveness in politics, even if you have the right answer, because it will help your side politically. The other side will fight against it. I do personally believe now. I saw somebody in the comments brought up when he brought up that if Trump wanted to do something about the border, he would not have fought against Biden's. I don't totally disagree with that. But somebody brought us money for the Ukraine in it. Well, okay, you shot down the border bill. You didn't do a damn thing about the money going to the Ukraine. So the money is going to Ukraine anyway. So you could have had the border temporarily under control, and you turned that down because you didn't want money going to a country where it went anyway. It literally went anyway. But I don't believe the goal at that time was to secure the border. The goal was to get rid of Biden. And that actually has been successfully completed. I don't think Trump, let me just say it this way. I believe when Biden passed that border bill earlier this year, obviously waited too damn long. It shouldn't have been in his third year to do it to begin with. That's legitimate criticism of Biden. But I don't believe there was a damn thing the Biden administration could have done to get the Republicans to pass that bill earlier this year, because the goal was to get rid of Biden. The goal at that point was not to secure the border. I would submit to you that Biden could have pushed a blank sheet of paper over to the Republican side of the table and said, tell me what you want and I'll sign it. And Trump would have made a phone call and said, don't you dare sign on the bottom line. You're not going to fuck with my campaign signing that shit. I don't believe there was nothing at that stage the Democrats could have done to get a border bill signed, because the goal wasn't to secure the border. The goal was to get Biden out of office, and that is what happened. Anyhow, going back to the box and tap the screen, get your boy up to 40,000. Share the live, smash that like button on YouTube, get us up to 50 if we can. God is the answer for everything, says unburdened by what has been done. All of the wars and famine on earth, and all we did is have to ask God. I don't agree with that at all. God provides free will. At least that's what I've been told my entire life. So any suffering on earth, I don't believe God is going to answer any of that, because he gives man and woman free will. So he's not going to answer that. He may be the answer for eternity, but on earth, you're not going to get much of an answer there. It may give you some solace and some comfort in what you're going through, But damn it, you're still going to go through it. Let me go back to the comment section. Holy Roller says, travel, man. Faith in God is only part of the equation. Purple Squirrel. I'm just simply saying, if you are going through something, God may give you solace and peace of mind while you're going through it, but he's not going to stop you from going through it. If you're about to be evicted out of your home and you're praying to God, okay, maybe you'll feel a little bit more comfort in getting evicted, but you're still going to get evicted. He's not going to rain you with a bunch of money or change your landlord's mind. It's all about free will. Let me go back to the box. We'll keep it moving with the one and only, I think it says Dencow. We're moving on with Dencow. Good evening. Welcome to the program. Wait a minute. What did I hit?
See, here's what he will do for sure. He will be very impatient about the issues that he thought didn't get addressed in his first term, because he is probably pretty pissed. Like, as a business owner, when you say something gets done, it just gets done. But obviously, in our governments, we have the exact opposite system, where we have checks and balances to make sure that one person can't command everything and just get done like that. But I don't think he'll be vengeful to everybody. I think he'll probably try to be lenient on people who look like they are potentially open to change. But I think he's I think that he normally would, but I don't think he sees there as enough of an obstacle.
Well, he said on the interview that she should be locked up. He actually said she should be in jail.
Yeah, and I think that's because of her and her dad, being warmongers and all that,
But here's the crazy thing. Until January 6th, let's go back to January 5th, the day before January 6th. He didn't give a damn about her being a warmonger. He wasn't saying nothing about any of that shit. It wasn't until she tried to impeach him for January 6th. Suddenly you want to bring up all of this Iraq war shit? He didn't give a damn about none of that.
I think he always did, but I think that he saw it as an issue that had its time, because we can't undo the Iraq war.
So why bring it up now?
Why bring it up now?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the impeachment is what kind of pushed him over the hill with that. I think that, he probably didn't like her already, but he was probably like, well, I mean, I'm gonna do. She's not someone who's sending us to a foreign war now. She's not doing, and she doesn't really do a whole lot that's threatening to my presidency now. Then the impeachment came, and then he's like, oh, bitch. Oh, you better hold on to your ass.
So then I got to ask the obvious question. Do you think that Biden should pardon Trump's enemy list? If you believe that he may be a eventual president, do you think, for the sake of unity and prevent America from going through months of divisive trials of these people like General Milley and Jack Smith and all of these other folks, Dr. Fauci, do you think Joe Biden should just pardon them and move them out of Trump's way?
From a moral perspective, no, because I think some of these people do need to actually be held accountable, especially Fauci, because we've already proven that he was involved in gain-of-function research. We already know that to be true.
Here's what I don't understand.
And here's the thing about Hunter Biden. I don't care about the Burisma board was kind of stupid. I didn't it was bad, but it wasn't. I cared a lot more about the CP that was potentially on his laptop.
I don't trust the chain of custody of that damn laptop. I've been hearing about the Hunter Biden's laptop, but in my opinion, when he left, the guy's drugged out. He takes his laptop to a repair site or whatever the hell it is. Drugged out, he forgets and leaves his laptop there, and it's there so long he forfeits his laptop. They sell the laptop to right-wing causes like Fox News and Giuliani, and then they in turn do
those that look heavily suspicious from Hunter, or that seem to be from the laptop as it is. I'm definitely more going on the idea that that there probably was CP on there. There probably was CP on there. I really do.
Interesting you would say that, because one of the biggest criticisms on Kamala Harris is people saying, I don't know what she is or what she stands for. And you're saying that you don't want a person to go out there and be speaking on everything. Trump speaks on everything. And look how...
He's an outlier.
He's the outlier. Nobody wants to hear your politician's every thought.
What do you got?
Remember when Obama went on the Saturday Night Live and they said we don't want no we don't need a funny, we don't need a funny character as our president. We need somebody that's going to be serious and engaged in public.
Yeah, and the same ones that said that shit are laughing at every joke Trump makes. They didn't like Obama. Yeah. Well, here's a difference though. The female police officer in Dallas that went into the wrong apartment. Here's a difference though. The female police officer in Dallas that went into the wrong apartment and took that man's life. He was doing absolutely nothing wrong. He was in his own crib.
No, the point is, do people get punished for mistakes? That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yes.
What about the black police officer in Minnesota when they was in a dark alley, and a lady walked up on the police car while he was in there and startled him, and he shot and killed her? Did he do time? Is he probably still locked up?
He got a 25 piece. Yeah,
Did he make a mistake?
Yeah, he made a mistake. I think
we gotta quit asking these we don't gotta quit, because I know that's part of your platform. So I'm not gonna criticize you for doing what you do. But
no, you can speak. You can speak. You can criticize. What do you say? You can criticize. You know I'm free speech. What are you saying I'm doing wrong?
I'm just saying, like, we're having these conversations and we're asking the questions, and I understand that you asking because you also want to, develop people's opinions internally and not just what they say, on this app, or just to be, fall on one side of the fence. So I get it, but it is frustrating, to hear somebody get on there like Jeremy get on here and say, I ain't never seen nobody get away with nothing.
I have no defense for that.
The winner gets to write the history, and we know what side he's on. Like that's the dumbest shit ever. Knowing America's government, knowing what we've done to people throughout history, I ain't never seen nobody get away with nothing. While we just watched Trump get away with 89, 90 felonies, we listened to him say he stole the documents that he should never have had. We listened to him say he lost the election. We listened to this man admit to crimes, and then he want to get on here and say, well, some of them people deserve it, because what? Because she disagreed with him on the last damn day of his presidency. Yeah. Now she's a rhino. She need to be punished. She need to go to jail. What? I can't even comprehend how I would feel like that. And I try to look at it from all perspectives. I try to look at it to say, if that was a black person, that they had did something negative to the other side, would I automatically just claim no accountability for my side, or what we view as my side, and just say the other side is just, they all should just go to? He's sitting there talking about, he should go ahead and be vengeful. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, some of the people deserve. Like, that's not the mindset that I want the president of the United States to have. If his goal is to help the people, don't get in there and spend time, resources, and manpower putting these people in who their whole goal is to achieve retribution.
Yeah. Well, then how do you respond to folks who are going to say, well, listen, that's how they did him? People believe that, they went after him, so he has the right to go after them.
Well, listen, if they went after him for no reason, I get it. But they went after him because they believed he committed crime. He's saying the people that investigated him should go to jail.
He did say
not that they did anything wrong, but he's saying because the police, the FBI, got a warrant for doing their job.
Yeah, he did say that. I spent all day watching that shit and rewinding it over again. He definitely, I'm like, man. Because that is one of the issues in our system, is that prosecutors get immunity. I mean, if you held prosecutors accountable for who they pursued, you'd have a hard time prosecuting anybody. So you're going after Jack Smith or some of these prosecutors because they investigated you. I agree with you. They're just doing their job. They looked into the charges against you or whatever, and they felt that there were legitimate charges to be made. Now you want them held, you want them to be prosecuted for going after you. And by the way, he has not proven that he was innocent of what Jack Smith pursued him for. So you go to me, if he go after Jack Smith, I think that would open up a Pandora's box, because you're accusing Jack Smith of doing something wrong, which would force Jack Smith to show, well, this is why I went after you. You know, and then how do you, because you never answered why I went after you. But now you're going to come out, yeah, so I don't think that's going to happen for that reason.
And if anybody thinks Jack Smith ain't tuck away some of that information because he understands he could be in the crosshairs, they don't understand. Prosecutors are people too.
Yeah.
And if you see somebody legitimately that you believe that has said out loud, and the people you putting in place have said out loud that they coming for you, then that would give them, they would have no choice but to, you know, what's odd to me is all of these people that support Trump keep saying, they've been saying this for 8 years. Man, he got some secret evidence, man, he gonna bring out, man, it's gonna prove, everybody gonna get, he got this, he know all this stuff about JFK and about
Epstein,
aliens and about everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, he ain't said a word about none of that stuff.
I've been battling it. That was the whole thing of the 2020 election too. They, you know, it was going to be some kind of damning evidence that's going to. Yeah, they've been saying that from day one. And Trump is holding all of this pertinent, you know, information, and one day he's going to release it. I'm like, well, when does that day come? Like, damn, he's been president for he's held the whole entire term already. And you mean he did the whole term and he kept that shit to himself? Yeah.
And they said before it was the deep state that prevented him. He was the president. He's in charge of all top secret, all information. He can declassify anything he wants.
Yeah.
Why did he wait? Because the deep state couldn't control that. That would have been the perfect time to do it, was when the deep state was in full effect.
It makes no sense. You get no argument from me. Then, Cal, you know what I got to do, but yeah.
One more thing about the Daniel Penny thing.
Yeah.
I heard them talking about, well, yeah, you know, the one that, you know, unalive somebody on the subway that morning. One that, you know, unalive somebody on the subway that morning. But I do believe when you cross a certain threshold or line and you take a human life, should be, because I don't know what the laws are. There should have been some type of something, even if he played with or something. There should have been some type of penalty. But to say he could just go there, and a man who's obviously having a mental health issue, now had he put hands on people, then yeah, by all means he was justified. But you can't anticipate somebody's violence and do something to them. And that goes for the police and every other law enforcement in the country. You can't do it on anticipation. Or guess what? We'd be like the Minority Report. We'd just be running up in people's house like, tomorrow, you know, you're going to rob a bank. You don't know it yet, but we're going to go ahead and
I hear your point. I can't totally disagree with you, but I just think the man was trying to be a good Samaritan. Shit went south, and I think it helps anybody out to punish him.
I agree. But there are consequences when you cross a certain threshold.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
To or not.
I get it. I can see both sides of it. But if I'm on a jury, I would have found him not guilty as well. I don't see any benefit to society whatsoever for punishing this guy, giving him any time in prison or putting a felony on his record. I just don't see it. Maybe if you give him probation in a way that after a few years, if you haven't done anything wrong at all, it all drops off, maybe that. But now you're going to make it so that if the guy does time, that's one thing. So he's taken away from his family. If he ends up getting out, now he got a felony on his record, which affects him for life. I don't see where he's done anything that denotes doing that to him. It's a mistake. I get all of that. He did take somebody's life. Huh?
Do you believe that sets a precedent now?
No.
That
I
now
think
when
the
you
only issue, I think the only reason why we're even talking about this shit is because he was a white dude. He took the life of a black man. If he was black, this would not have made any news at all. I don't think it would have went anywhere outside of New York.
I don't know when you talk about what people talk about in New York about what
He's not a hero. I'm assuming now Judge Jeanine Pirro on Fox News today, she suggests after Daniel Penny was found after he was found not guilty, Judge Jeanine Pirro on Fox News said that Trump should speak out on it and give Daniel Penny a Medal of Freedom. So I'm assuming you don't agree with that because you said he's not a hero.
Absolutely not. That is absolutely that's stupid.
Yeah. I don't think Trump should get involved in it at all, if you ask me.
And I wanted to tell you before. No, I don't either. And I want to tell you also, I think I told you last time I come up, your TikTok's on sub only. That's why you're not getting as many comments. I don't know if you did that on purpose or not, but I just letting you know.
Oh, no, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't even realize that. Well, I'll change it in a second. No, I didn't realize it was that way.
Yeah, it's on sub only, so the only ones that can comment is subs.
Okay, fair. Yeah, I got to step away soon. But okay, so you do agree? So you would not have given him any charges at the same time. But I want to ask you this from a Good Samaritan perspective. After seeing what happened to Daniel Penny, okay, yeah, he walked, yeah, he's a free man, he was found not guilty, but he paid a fortune in legal fees. He had to deal with this. I don't know how long this has been going on, but it's been a while. Do you see where this might lead somebody who would otherwise have helped someone in distress take a hands-off approach? I don't want to end up like Daniel Penny.
Absolutely, I do. I see that happening for sure. I mean, yeah, I would. I mean, that makes me think twice to help somebody out because of going through something like that. Because, I mean, yes, it was an accident. I do not believe he meant to kill that man at all. I mean, I just don't think he's that type of guy from what I've seen.
Yeah, and I'm the same way. I think I believe personally there should be some type of protections for Good Samaritan, like Good Samaritan protection laws. Okay, if you're trying to genuinely do the right thing and something happens, I think you should be given some sort of leeway because at the end of the day, I don't believe Daniel Penny was setting out to kill this guy. That is a product of what ended up happening, but I don't believe that was what he was trying to do. I mean, if you let's say, for instance, you are a concealed carry individual, and you see somebody, hurting somebody, so you hold them at gunpoint until the police arrive, and while holding them at gunpoint, you accidentally pop them. You didn't intend to do it, but you were holding somebody at gunpoint until the police arrived, and you accidentally depressed the trigger. I don't think you should be treated the same way a murderer will be treated.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I also believe that I also believe that nowadays in this day and age, though, you would probably get arrested.
Yeah.
If you accidentally shot them, unless you could prove that they were coming after you to harm you.
Yeah, and you're right. In this day and age, some folks would say, now I don't think this qualifies as woke, but some people would say it's the woke generation that's doing this. I don't think that fits the definition of woke. But some people are saying that our generation is too damn woke, and stuff like this as a result.
Yeah, I can see that.
All right, fair enough. So speaking of people getting shot, I hate to go here, but the CEO of United Health gunned down in cold blood. Why the hell were so many Americans rooting for the killer in this?
Man, I don't know. I don't think they should. I mean, that's just cold-blooded murder. I mean, it don't matter. Even if his family member or something was denied health care or something, that don't give you the right to go kill somebody.
Yeah. But a lot of Americans.
And how messed up our country is right now.
I literally went to a variety of different posts covering that story, looking for comments that were sympathetic to the deceased, and I could not find really anything. Everybody there were like, if you see this guy, you didn't see this guy, and he's a hero. And I didn't see anybody feeling, any anger for him being gunned down in cold blood or any sympathy for the deceased at all. It was all in favor of this guy losing his life.
Yeah, see, that's sad, but then we got so much sympathy for the guy that's on the train that's threatening to kill somebody.
Yeah. That is, that's a hell of a way of putting it. That is true. All right, fair enough. Before I move on from you, because we're talking about another topic about Trump being a vengeful president because of his Meet the Press interview this weekend where he said Liz Cheney should be in jail. Do you see Trump being a vengeful commander-in-chief?
Unfortunately, yes, I think he will be. I think he'll definitely go after a few people.
Should Biden pardon his... So then should Biden pardon...
He can divide the country more.
Yeah, no shit. So should Biden pardon his enemies list so that there's nobody for him to take revenge on?
I mean, it might help, honestly.
Yeah. I want you on that. I'll move it on, Tony. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I said, it don't matter what Trump does or don't do. I mean, I think this country got so divided here in the past,
How?
Honestly,
But what do you think the reason is?
I guess.
What do you think the reason? You say the country has gotten so divided.
I think a lot of it has to do with the internet and social media and everything. I really do.
Really?
Before internet was so popular and social media and stuff, I don't think we were near as divided.
So
That's my opinion.
you think the internet has divided us?
I think some, just because there's so many different opinions and everybody can see everything, and I don't know. That's just what I think. I think it has a lot to do with it. I mean.
So do you favor Elon? Do you favor Elon Musk? Elon Musk operating from a point of zero censorship?
Yes.
But then people want to be able to see more then, right?
Yeah.
All right. So
I mean, I don't believe in censorship. But I mean, like I said, I just don't believe that. I think the internet has a lot to do with the divisiveness. Yeah. But it's both parties. I mean, it's
true.
Trump is probably worse as far as being an asshole and, saying stupid shit for a politician. I do believe, his policies, a lot of his policies are better and stuff, but the left does it too. I mean, they both, neither one of them's ever going to stop.
Fair enough, and I do agree that you can get divisiveness from both sides of the aisle, and I certainly agree that Trump is deliberately, intentionally enjoying being an asshole. So I've heard people tell me that Obama is where it started at, but I do believe Trump takes pleasure in being divisive. So my money is going to be that Trump was more divisive than Obama or Biden.
Oh, I agree with that. Yeah. Yes, Trump is more divisive than both of them for sure. But I do think it started with Obama. But it didn't get quite as bad until Trump got in office or started running.
I don't think there's any way for Obama to avoid it. You're the first black president. There's no way to not be divisive because there's a hell of a lot of people that don't. The first black national baseball player, the first black general, you're the first black to do any damn thing. You're going to be divisive because there's going to be people that don't like that.
For sure. Just imagine if Kamala would won the first
man.
black woman president, how divisive we would have got.
Yeah, I've heard people
worse than Trump winning.
Yeah, because I still get people calling her a hoe and a whore and all. Yeah, it's bad. I mean, MAGA said some pretty low down shit about her. I mean, I had a guy down the street from my house. Big sign says "Get rid of Joe and a hoe." I mean, yeah, it's.
See, that's just crazy. I mean, I don't agree with none of that stuff.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. I think we agree on a whole lot of this. All right, I can move it on, Tony. Appreciate you coming through. Thank you.
Man, nice talking to you.
Absolute. Yes, same. All right, looking in the comments real quick. We didn't quite get 50,000. Some of you guys didn't tap the screen. You mean reaching out to Muslim countries, says. How the hell is that a problem? President Obama reaches out to Muslim, because that's what you're saying there, Quicks, that Obama was this is a tongue twister. I'm having a Biden moment. Obama was divisive because he reached out to Muslim countries. How the hell are we going to bring that up and suggest that that's divisive when Trump had Kim Jong-un in the fucking White House? Really? He's invited Vladimir Putin to the White House. Vladimir Putin turned down the invitation. But no, Obama's talking to Muslims, oh, that's divisive. Really? All of a sudden, Obama goes on what they call an apology tour, and he's reaching out to Muslims, and he's wrong. But when Trump started reaching out to adversaries, well, you got to keep your enemies closer. Can we get any more hypocritical than that? All of a sudden, Trump reaches out to Putin and Kim Jong-un and all, and Xi Jinping. Well, you know, he is doing something. It's about time we start reaching out to our enemies. Really. Just completely changed, huh? But when Obama was doing it was wrong as hell. Alter ego, yeah! Appreciate the hat and mustache. Obama brought 250,000 troops home from the Middle East, says Denkow. True, that is true. Because he wants his people to stand to attention when he speaks, says Joe. Yeah, Trump unfortunately got caught on a hot mic saying that he wanted his people to behave like the North Koreans. The North Koreans are, man, you talk about somebody that's brainwashed, man, they really believe their dear leader is like God. We don't ever want to be like that. DJ Julio. Good evening, DJ Julio. Trump being a vengeful commander-in-chief. What say you, Julio?
Retribution will be his success.
So you want him to do this?
I want him to do everything he has to and everything that he said he was going to do. Yeah, I wouldn't have voted for him either way.
Give me 3 people that you personally believe Trump has a right to go after. Give me 3 names.
He needs to go after Pelosi.
Jesus.
For sure.
All right. Speaker of the House, former Speaker of the House. Who else?
I think he should go after Fannie. That'd be fun.
Fani Willis?
I don't know. I don't want him. Okay, listen. When I say retribution will be his success, doesn't really mean that he's going after people to lock people up. He doesn't need to go after that. His retribution is going to be the success of his cabinet. When America is succeeding, that'll be his get back. I don't think he's going to lock anybody up. If I had the choice, I would definitely encourage him to go after Nancy, though.
Well, he said on Meet the Press this weekend that Liz Cheney should be in jail. What the hell he mean by that?
That's what he feels.
For what? For what?
Well, what did she play in the role?
She believed that what he did on she believed that what happened on January 6th was his fault and he should be investigated. That's not a crime.
Okay. So she's complicit to what Nancy Pelosi negated to do. So yeah, she's just as his fault as Nancy Pelosi is.
What crime did Nancy Pelosi commit?
I just said when she was negligent. She was negligent. She's the reason. She is the cause for January 6th. She's the one that told our National Guard to stand down and that they weren't going to have any part to do with any of that.
Where's the evidence of that?
The National Guard. She dropped the ball. Pecking order. I mean, I know you know better. I know that
that's not true.
It comes to the Capitol militarily.
Julio, that's not true. It's not true that Nancy Pelosi, I've heard this a bunch, but the notion that Nancy Pelosi's job was to provide the National Guard, that has not been proven to be fact.
That's not what I said. I said she was in charge of the call.
What call?
Trump asked for it. She denied it.
She denied the National Guard.
The call where he said, I want 10,000 National Guardsmen. Yeah.
Okay.
That's correct.
I'm not aware that that's true at all. I don't believe that's true.
Well, she even came out and her daughter caught her on tape saying that it was my responsibility. I should have done something.
Yeah, I totally disagree.
I mean,
but I will say that
everybody, and then it's conspiracy.
Here's the other problem. I think me and you may have talked about this. I've certainly talked to other guests about this. But if you requested the National Guard because you felt there may be an issue, and the National Guard was not granted, why would you send that crowd to the Capitol building knowing that you felt ahead of time there may be an issue?
To hold the people responsible for it accountable.
Hold them responsible. So in other words, you're going to send what could be a violent mob to the Capitol building to make a point.
No. He didn't send them to a violent mob. He sent his peaceful protesters to the mob or to the White House to peacefully and patriotically protest.
If all you gotta say,
we know these things. I mean, this is. I mean, like, drawing straws here. You're looking for a reason to say that he's at fault still for January 6th. He's not.
Some of this don't make sense is what I'm saying, Julio. If all you got to say is go peacefully and patriotically, and they'll do what you say, then why the hell you need the National Guard? Just say go peacefully and patriotically. You shouldn't need the National Guard.
Why did he ask for the National Guard, Tim?
Because he knew there might be a problem.
No, he knew there were going to be a lot of people there and that Washington's cops weren't going to be able to handle it by themselves. He needed the National Guard for crowd control, Tim. Crowd control. And Nancy Pelosi, to further the Democrats' view in what they were trying to do and make him and frame him up, denied it.
Here's my problem, DJ. If you request the National Guard to be at an event, for whatever reason, you know you need extra security there, for whatever reason, and you have the event and the security is not there, you don't continue with the event as normal. You certainly don't send that crowd to the Capitol building where all of these high-level targets are, and you're hoping that go peacefully and patriotically is all it takes to contain thousands of people.
False.
What?
That is all fundamentally false. Have you ever thrown an event? Have you ever thrown anything like
Yeah,
that?
thrown plenty of events, yeah.
Okay, and when you ask for your security, you assume it's taken care of, correct?
No, I check to make sure.
Okay.
Are you?
The venue in my world, the venue is in charge of security, and if I think that I'm going to have a big party, and I tell them we need security, it's on them to supply it. If they do not supply it and somebody gets hurt, they are held liable. The venue is held liable.
Wait a minute, hold on. So if you throw, let's say you throw an event, let's take your example. You, DJ Julio, you throw an event, your family and friends are going to be at this event. You feel you need security at that event. If the venue does not provide security, you still leave your family and friends in there knowing that you thought ahead of time security might be needed. You would still do that. Because at the end of the day, if something go wrong, you basically saying if something go wrong and my family and friends get hurt, I'm going to blame the venue. So, but you leave your family and friends at risk.
My family and friends wouldn't be in the crowd.
What if they're in the crowd? What if they want to come to your event?
If they get hurt, that was a choice they made to go down in there.
So
I mean, honestly, why am I responsible for fucking everybody, but nobody's responsible for their own feelings or emotions or actions?
Because you're the president of the fucking country. Because you're the president of the country. What?
Go ahead. I'll let you finish,
Okay.
and then I'll say what I was going to say.
You are the president of the United States. If Nancy Pelosi did not do her job, you don't just go on as normal and say, well, if something go wrong, we'll just blame Nancy Pelosi. You're the president. If she hasn't done her job, it is your job. Hold on. If Nancy Pelosi has not done her job, it's your job to get on the horn, or I'm telling my age, get on the phone and find out what the hell is going on and get some agents out here or somebody to provide security. You don't just keep going as normal and say, well, if something go wrong, we'll blame Nancy Pelosi. No, that's not how that works.
So a man that got voted out of office, which we all know was rigged, gets voted out of office, asks the current administration to do their fucking job. The current administration doesn't do their job, and it's still the prior president's job to go above and beyond and do your job too?
That's not true.
Bullshit. That's absolutely bullshit.
That's not true. On January 6th, Trump was the president. There is no Biden didn't take office at January 20-something. Trump was still president for 2 more weeks after January 6th. He was president when that went down.
Okay, so then yeah, Nancy's 100% to blame. Her commander-in-chief, listen, her commander-in-chief told her what to do, told her what I needed.
Right.
Told her what he needed.
Right.
She did not follow his order. That's treason.
Okay, so if the commander-in-chief tells her what to do and she fails to do it, does he just simply do nothing?
No, you know what? He got shot because listen, this motherfucker got shot because the government wouldn't give him what he asked for. He doesn't care. He doesn't care what he gets. He's going to do what he says he's going to do, regardless of what you provide for him, and he did that.
Well, when he got shot, he wasn't. When he got shot, he wasn't president.
Was a love fest.
What?
No, he wasn't. It's January 6th was a love fest.
That's
giving love to our former president. He's about to be done.
So was that a love fest to the Capitol Police? They got their ass beat too?
No, we all know that it was leftists that went inside that Capitol.
And what is that based on?
It's based on all the evidence.
What evidence suggests that the people inside the Capitol building were leftists? Because Trump is making songs with them and talking about pardoning them.
I'm glad you asked that. The evidence that Matt Gaetz has, which is why he dropped out of the Senate, so that he could expose it, because he can't put it to a vote now. Now it has to be looked at.
Matt Gaetz, and good old Matt Gaetz is going to come through and save the day, huh?
When Matt Gaetz ain't necessarily saving the day, he's going to bring light to the situation for sure, though.
Julio, you know how long they've been telling us some real facts are going to come out on this shit? It's like we're going into year 4 and they say, well, you know, the truth is going to come out. It's not going to happen, Julio. It's not going to happen.
You have to get the truth tellers in a spot where they can tell the truth. Whistleblowers on the right get given away.
Yeah, like Liz,
don't have any.
Yeah, like Liz Cheney.
Yeah.
Like Mike Pence. Whistleblowers on the right get ostracized by people on the right.
No, well, sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, they become rhinos. They become rhinos and treasonous. If you tell the truth on the right, they don't like you anymore.
Right, but if we tell the truth to the American people, we're going to believe what we're told because the bluff said it. It's got to be right.
Just the fact that you said right speaks fine. I mean, why can't you tell the truth on Trump without becoming a rhino?
Because there's nothing to tell.
Really? All right.
He's not been found guilty on anything that he's done. The stuff that he was found guilty was appealed and dropped.
You notice you say he's not been found guilty on anything, but you didn't say he was found innocent on anything either. He wasn't acquitted of shit. He won the presidency and he's making it go away. He wasn't acquitted of anything.
The burden of proof falls on the prosecution.
And the case has been terminated because Trump plans on firing the prosecutor. He didn't prove he was innocent. He didn't go to court of law.
That's my point. That's my point. As the defendant, you, me, Trump, it's not my job to prove I'm innocent. It's your job to prove I'm guilty.
Yeah, but it's a different. I would agree with you, but it's a different state of affairs when the defendant can fire the prosecutor. That's an example that nobody else gets.
The law is the law. If they had it, they should have done it quicker.
Oh my God! All right.
And I've told you this before. In a legal standpoint, Trump's not buying his extensions. He's not buying his furloughs. He's not buying those things. Those are things that are through the court process. Any one of us can get. Any one of us can get a stay of our sentence. We can get a hold on our sentencing. We can get a hold on our prosecuting. We can push our trial out further.
Yeah, but Julio.
All it takes is a little bit of a reason, and if you find a reason, you're good.
Julio.
So any one of us can do this. It was the prosecution that could not prosecute a case, Tim.
Julio, you getting your cases heard by judges you personally appoint. Oh my God, they took Julio down. Wow, Julio, come on now, not my boy Julio. Unfortunately, my last guest, TikTok didn't like him. Hopefully, we get to keep TikTok because they're talking about banning this damn app. DJ Julio, you can file an appeal. I don't know. They don't like your ass because you're MAGA, but you certainly liked over here. But file an appeal, Julio. Hopefully they let you. I can't believe they took Julio down. Wow. Sorry about that, man. Looking in the comments, Julio brain needs deprogramming, says Joe Blogs. Yikes. Just like Joe Biden pardoning Hunter. Yeah, he did pardon his son, and it was politically based. Matt Gaetz took full advantage of that. Yeah, this guy is stuck on stupid. For real, elaborate on that. He says this guy is stuck on stupid. I don't know if you're referring to me or my last caller. Anyhow, sorry about that, Julio. I hated to see you get dropped. See, Miss Mo Better says good because he was telling lies. Yeah, because he spits misinformation, says DJ D's. Look, at the end of the day, depending on who you ask, there are folks who think we all spit misinformation. I get accused of spitting misinformation my damn self from MAGA all the time, and then some liberals, like for instance, this whole deal with Danielle Penny, some of the liberals don't like what I'm saying there. I mean, that's why I like free speech, because the people get to speak. You know, at the end of the day, some people are not going to like what you say no matter what. Nevertheless, I do appreciate the 54,000. I do got to step away for a moment. So thank you folks that are tapping the screen. But unfortunately, I got to suspend the live for a little bit. I will see you back in about an hour. It's your boy Tim, the Handsome Liberal. Got to go. Same on YouTube. I got to step away for a quick minute. I don't know what happened on YouTube horizontal here. I think I got too close to my residence. So it's picked up on Wi-Fi. And as a result, by it picking up on Wi-Fi, it's not close to where I got a reliable signal. So it's coming in and out. So I apologize for you few folks, very few folks on YouTube horizontal anyway, but for some of you folks that are here, I appreciate it. I'm on YouTube horizontal with an iPhone. All the other devices are Samsungs on the other platforms. I'm learning how to work the iPhone, so I don't know how to go on here and turn the damn Wi-Fi off. That's why I was not able to fix it, but thank you very few folks that tuned in on YouTube horizontal. See you